Hello everybody, this is BrawlFan1, back for another commentary on my second episode of Super Smash Adventures. Without further ado, let's just get right to it. We pretty much have the introduction, showing that pretty much everything in the Mushroom Kingdom went back to normal after the events with Bowser and Billy and all that. Pretty much Peach is doing her job as what I kind of think that she'd do as a princess job, because I imagine a monarchy, hope that's what it's called, imagine that, yeah, a monarchy, would be someone who takes care of her kingdom if they're a good monarchy. You want someone to get ragged for calling it a monarchy, it's probably called something different. I don't know why I use that sound effect. And here we pretty much have the introduction of non-Mario characters to this series. It is called Super Smash Adventures, and Super Smash Brothers has been known to have multiple continuities. I suppose one thing I should also say, even though a lot of this series includes mainly a lot of Brawl characters, it's not just Brawl that the series is based upon. It's based upon Smash in general. Like, hell, if it was only based around Brawl, I wouldn't have characters like Mewtwo or Pichu and all them. And pretty much we have kind of a little cutscene. We have Peach here explaining everything to Zelda on what happened. But then we cut to Bowser, because there's no point in re-explaining everything that the viewers already know. That was kind of like one problem that I noticed in like a lot of spriters that I used to watch. Like they would like re-explain everything to characters who haven't heard it before, even though the viewers have already heard it like a couple of times already. Also, this music that I used for Mewtwo here, at the time I thought it was okay, but now that I actually know where it came from, it's actually a little bit unsuited. The music came from Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver, which it was used to summon Lugia or Ho-Oh, so it's not necessarily an evil theme. I think, what was the music? I think it was called Summoning of the Legends, which is probably what tied me to want to use it from Mewtwo, since he's a legendary Pokemon. But now it's like, it's a little unsuitable. But no one really complained about it, so I guess it's okay. Here is where I pretty much incorporate Junior's childlike stature. In reality, canon-wise, I don't know if Junior likes fighter pilots or not. I just have him here just for the sake of the joke. I don't know if he does or not. Junior, behave. Something you'll probably never hear Bowser say. I think I only had him say it so that way he doesn't scare away the other villains. And yes, I did I did edit all those characters. Like Panther and Wolf came from the custom Fox sprite sheet that I use. What was his name? Qwerty 1080, I think, is who made it. And then the Leon sprite sheet came from a Luffy sprite sheet that came from Jump Ultimate Stars, I think the name of the game was. Kabula. One thing I need to try to really do is that I kind of made the mistake of doing. I wrote the story as if just expecting that everybody knows each and every character, because one guy did comment asking me who what King K. Rool's name was. He didn't know who King K. Rool was, which probably means I probably should have said King K. Rool as opposed to just King K before getting cut off. Because it's kind of a bad habit for people who make videos like this. They just expect all of their viewers to know who these characters are, when really it probably would be smarter to incorporate their names. And I do like this effect that I did here. Okay, this music here. This is another song that I didn't really know what it originated from. I know what game it came from, but I just didn't know where it was used. And when I used it, my friend Photon Priest kind of ragged on me for using it because it was the totally wrong situation to use it with. And then he told me where it came from, and I looked it up, and it's like, oh, okay, oh well. Because if I recall correctly, this music was originally used while explaining like the gods of Hyrule, which probably means it would be pretty bad. It's probably a bad fit to use it on the Lord of Darkness. But you know, I say this multiple times. No series is nothing is perfect. There are very few actual movies that are perfect, but. And then we cut back to Zelda and Peach. A little bit too much attitude for that, but okay, whatever. And this pretty much starts where pretty much this is what gets Peach and Billy out of the castle before the invasion of before Bowser invades. Kind of a funny little irony thing. And this next oncoming joke, I do feel I kind of overused this kind of joke where, Todiki, where, like, they say nothing can go wrong and then something happens. That's kind of, I do feel that I overused that a little bit. In fact, for those of you who remember, in episode 5, I made a joke about that, like, where Falco's just about, like, nothing can go wrong, and Morty Boomer stops him going, don't say that, something goes wrong when you say that. Hopefully that's the last time I use that joke, unless I end up finding another situation for it. And this here actually worked out too, because like I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the last commentary of episode 1. I kind of it took me a while to figure out how to get Bowser back to his castle, and then randomly decided, hey, Daisy, I have Daisy in the next scene. Why don't I just have her plane fly into him? And then, of course, I decided, oh, wait, I have Daisy's plate fly into him. I imagine it's probably broken, so, knowing Peach and her pure heart, she'd probably lend her plane to Daisy. But then again, I probably should have recolored that plane to be yellow as opposed to pink. Laziness on my part. I apologize. Excuse me. This right here. Not a lot of people really caught this at first, but Toadsworth here saying that he has paperwork to do, not really. It's just an excuse for him not to go, because he's scared to go. Which I think would probably be kind of out of Toadsworth's character, because I imagine Toadsworth would probably want to be with the princess at all times. But I thought I didn't really want him going. I kind of wanted them to stay there. And this is a scene where we kind of learn a little bit more about the Gospel Seed, which is only mentioned once in the last episode. I should be talking, I just don't have very much to say for this scene. It's exactly what it looks like. I suppose I could say that one person did point this out recently that I do agree. Harry Koopa, Harry Potter reference, but someone pointed this out a little recently, saying that my grasp on the personalities of the Zelda characters isn't very good. I will agree with that because I've never played a Zelda game in my life. I've actually, not to lie, I played Ocarina of Time, but not even 5% of it. I got like to the courtyard and then I quit because I didn't like it. Pretty much, but yeah, I imagine I probably do have a bit of a lacking sense on the Zelda characters' personality. I normally just go off by what my friends tell me, because I'm normally on a Skype call while working on Flash, and I normally, like, I talk it with them, see if it's okay, and if they like it. And normally, like my friend Keith, or maybe Raushetsu, or someone who played Ocarina of Time, they'll tell me if I'm doing it right, and they don't contradict me otherwise, so I guess. They could be wrong too, you never know. Originally in the scene, I had it where it was only Peach and Billy going by themselves. And then when I thought that to myself, I'm kind of thinking, why would Peach and Billy go by themselves? They're both pretty much defenseless. But, that's mostly because originally Billy was much stronger than I have him now. So, but because I changed him to be more helpless, I incorporated having 2 servants go with them as well as Mario. Which in reality probably would be the smartest thing to do. To bring Mario with you. Excuse me. Monkeys. I will also say, I have a hard time trying to think of good Zelda music to use. Because, once again, I don't play the Zelda games, so I don't know what music works for what. I just kind of listen to the soundtracks and kind of think of what may work and what may not. I do feel that this scene is also kind of lacking a lot of sound effects that I could have easily added. I didn't have them at the time, but I could have easily found them, so fault on my part once again. Deku Scrubs is what those things are called? Yeah, Deku Scrubs. Originally for this scene also, I originally had it so that, Donkey Kong came out of nowhere and started beating the tar out of Billy because he's a piranha plant for obvious reasons. And I changed that because Mario was there too. And I just decided, okay, they're in Hyrule Forest. Maybe there should be a lot of Hyrule monsters I want to attack instead.
Mamma mia!
One of the slightly crude humors of this series. By the way, those keys, that's all one symbol. Like, I made one little symbol for the keys and then just kind of put them all together. And for that, that dark, what's that thing called? A moblin. Yeah, moblin. I really wish that I just kind of animated the arm so that it moved by itself when raising the staff, as opposed to raising its entire body. I assure you, when I remake this episode to put on new guns or something, I will change that. I'll only make the arm move as opposed to the whole body. One peanut. That's actually why Diddy Kong for some reason shot a whole bunch of peanuts out at once into all the bats, because it was all one symbol and I couldn't just do it one at a time. It wouldn't have worked. Lacking a sound effect again. Punching sound effect for nuts going into his mouth. And of course, as we know, Billy is a vegetarian. Yes, I know. Irony. And now, Bowser finishes explaining everything about the gospel seed, so now the villains know everything about it, but the viewers don't. Kind of leading up to more hype. I also should take this time to point something out that I forgot to mention a little earlier. At the end of the scene before, where Junior was supposed to leave the room, but instead stays and listens in. I don't even know why I did that. That was kind of a pointless scene. Like, I have no intentions for anything to happen because of that. Like, there really is nothing harmful about it. Like, I may think of something a little later, but as of right now, that was kind of a pointless thing to drop shadow effect. I got nothing to say. It's a commentary. What should I say? Another person pointed out that with Ganondorf's powers, he would have easily been able to break out of that spell. I guess maybe, but the thing is, like, if he was able to, that would kind of hurt this entire scene right here with Mewtwo persuading all the villains to work together, because Mewtwo's the smart one. And I guess it's really a matter of opinion whether Ganondorf can break out of Mewtwo's powers or not. Because remember, well, I will take note that Ganondorf is a powerful villain. At the same time, Mewtwo is also pretty powerful, so it took me 3 fucking days to catch it in a Pokeball. I'm dead serious. Heart Gold version took me 3 days to capture Mewtwo, the fucker. Anyway, back on topic. I say back on topic, then it goes totally silent. I have nothing to say here. This is exactly what it looks like. This is precisely how the scene was originally to be. A little bit of lag there, but that was just Flash's fault. If you want to know a little bit of tidbit, if you look at the Bowser symbol on the floor, this sprite came from Bowser's Inside Story when Fawful took it over. So originally, that symbol where the eyes were like the giant Fawful glasses, and I tried editing them so that they look like Bowser's eyes, even though they don't really look like the original Bowser eyes. Rawr. Lag. I don't know why I got so laggy back then. But yeah, this pretty much starts the, yeah, pretty much, it's exactly what it looks like. I don't think I should explain it. And then here we see, the monkeys. Kong's escorting the group to Hyrule. I guess I should say, I think one or two people asked me what projects was Diddy talking about that Cranky was working on. If you remember from episode 4, the vial that Cranky made that helped DK see into the future, that's the project that he was working on, and that's also the reason why Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong were in Hyrule Forest. They were looking for ingredients for the vial for Cranky. Yeah, right there. See, that's pretty much explained in episode 4. Even though I didn't explain it all that well, I probably could have mentioned that's the reason they were in Hyrule, but I forgot to. So there's the reason. And I really wish I used a different sprite of the Hyrule residents as opposed to the actual in-game sprites. I probably could have easily custom made some, but you know what happens when you're lazy. Also, if you notice how the characters kind of squinge as they go through the door, like right there. When I remake the episode, I'm easily gonna be able to fix that because now I know about the masking effect, and since I have the masking effect knowledge now, I can easily make it so that they go through the door normally, as opposed to getting crunched when they're walking through the door. Because the door is a part of the force plate. Here we go with Zelda just being introduced to Billy. feel sad for all of you. I'm sure you're pretty much rewatching the episode with me just not talking. What to say? I guess I could say that the original second episode to Super Smash Chronicles, the original second episode. Actually, hold on. Before I say that, I could say here that this part kind of shows Zelda's authority over Peach, even though they're both royalty. One can say that Zelda does have more authority over Peach. Like she's like the bigger figure than Peach. And this also shows that how much Peach's residents love her, because here we have a Toad confessing that it was his idea, trying to take the fall for his princess. But anyway, like I was saying before that, the original second episode consisted of Billy pretty much going missing. Like all it was in the beginning, Peach told Billy to go to the store to do some errands, and he ran into Snake, who accidentally blasted him, and Billy ended up in the forest right next to the Billy's castle. He pulled a Rickroll prank on them, and then he ran away, and then happily ever after. That was the entire second episode, and you guys wonder why I restarted. The irony of this episode, yeah. The villains bust into the castle and take it over to kidnap Billy and Peach, but they're not even there. This is kind of a little get on of the villains experiencing the talents of the other villains. The squad, Armados, yes, okay. Armados, as well as Morty Boomer, the blue boomerang girl you'll see later. Those two characters I came up with at the same time with the help of two of my real-life friends that I know from school. And both characters are kind of based off both friends. Like, Morty Boomer is based off my friend Marty. Yes, Marty. Marty is a kind of a smart boy. So on the odd hop, what am I trying to say here? On the other side, then that makes Morty smart. But at the same time, Morty Boomer is also a nerd, just like my friend Marty. We're all nerds, but you know. So it's pretty much just a revamp of the character based off a real person. And then Armados here, a little more extreme from the friend. He's based off my friend Keith, Armados 13, which, for those of you who didn't quite catch that immediately, he's called Armados 13 because he voices Armados, and he also helped me create Armados. Also originally, which was in the original third episode of Smash Chronicles, where both Morty and Armados first appeared in that episode, Armados was originally turned good by Morty, but how he was turned good was really lame. Like Morty and Armados were in the middle of a battle, and all Morty says do you think this is right? Do you think this is really what you want? And then all of a sudden Armados turns good, and it's like, that sucked, so I ended up changing that. And that sprite you see of Armados too is also a new sprite that I made for this series. The original sprite for Armados was really horrible. Like, I don't know how I can really show you, because I'm not really sure. I'm sure someone will tell me how. I don't really know how to post pictures on videos while I do this. I'm sure someone may tell me, but for now I don't know how. If you guys really want to see a picture of Armados, the original sprite of him before this one that I 100% made, if I get enough requests, I guess I can show it. I'm not really sure how I can show it. I'll find a way. One thing I will say here, Armados here is a bit emotionless, because he's just kind of like the blind follower as of right now. But he gains a bit more of a personality as the story progresses. Am My voice is starting to get hoarse. This is a long episode. Oh, pardon me. And like I stated in my top 20 most favorite characters of all time, I love Kenny James' voice for Bowser. Kenny James has an awesome voice for Bowser. Foolproof. I always thought it was foolproof. Apparently, it's not. The correct term is foolproof, which is FOOL proof, as opposed to FULL. And here we have Morty Boomer.
Hello.
Yeah, that's Morty's real voice too, which you heard there. Originally I had Morty Boomer much smarter. He was at this. I guess you can call him at the same level of intelligence as like Tails or Egad. I toned that down here now. He's like a basic gamer nerd, and he's mostly good with mechanics. Like he's just a mechanic. That's his and mechanics and robotics. That's his basic intelligence here. Because he invented the jetpack. So yeah, his intelligence was toned down, and obviously with Armados, he remains evil. Armados will not turn good. Bonkers and Critter. This will end. I think this ends part 3. Can't remember. It was so long ago when I made this episode. And here we have the introduction of Star Fox. That sprite of the Great Fox is just a. I took a picture from like the Super Smash Melee game and colored over it with pixels. And that Rob sprite, that Rob 64 sprite you see there, I made that 100% custom as well. Excuse me. That's also the only sprite of Rob that exists, actually. That's Rob's only sprite that I made for him. I didn't make any others. But then again, this is the... as of right now, this is the only scene we're gonna see Rob in. And that crystal sprite sheet you see there, I kind of edited that so that she's in her so that she's in her usual like Star Fox outfit, because the sprite sheet that was originally there was her in her like Native American outfit, I guess, like her native outfit when she lived on the dinosaur planet. Probably should have recolored it purple though. What I also really need to do is I need to put sleeves on Fox's sprites, because in the picture, and as well as a couple of the big pictures I make of him, he has sleeves where he's sleeveless in the sprites. That's what I really need to do. This was also around the time when I started experimenting with the close-up images drawn in Flash. I did recently get a pen tablet, so I can do this more often and help them look more neat. But it will essentially remain a sprite series. I also felt that I overused like the voice sound effects that the characters made with unnecessary times.
trying.
So beat it. I didn't catch that until after I already uploaded this episode. Oh boy. Thank God for Word. I didn't have Word at the time, as I've already mentioned. I guess you can call this like one of the first official fight scenes that I made. And that's the only time I've ever actually shown a 40 boomer throw his boomerang. She'll have to do a little more often later. I don't even know why I did that special effects. I think it was just for time purposes. Like I wanted to make it last a little longer. But it was a little unnecessary. Here's another thing. I'm actually gonna make this joke in the beginning of episode 6, but what Armados is he's a joke of a god mod. Like he's essentially a god modding character, but he has one fatal weakness that will totally destroy him if it happens to him. And we see it here too. His essential weakness is that giant black pack on his back holds the every bit of fuel that he needs in order to properly function, in order to properly work his armor. Like every function of his armor requires the fuel in that. And if it were to get hit by a big explosion, like you're gonna see right here, he won't even be strong enough to move. However, the one thing that will function properly, even if his fuel supply is damaged, is his camouflage, which is how he's able to get away if he were to ever lose like this, like right there. But essentially, Armados is a joke god mod character. He's on purpose a god mod character, but for pretty much to make fun of other god mod characters, because I really hate it when people make these characters that are like so powerful and they get all upset if the character is if someone else makes the character lose. But yeah, essentially you heard me the first time. He's a satire of a god mod. A parody god mod character is what Armados is. This was obviously where Fox and Falco learn about what's going on at Peach Castle. So they go to investigate. They send Morty back to his home, which is essentially Egad's lab. I guess he's Egad's assistant. So. That is also one thing that kind of I felt I made too obvious that I did, but people really seem to like that I've done. None of my fan characters are like,
Come on!
are like are like supreme. Like they like it that I have the characters toned down so that they're either equal or weaker than the original canon characters. Like how people like make all these characters who are like people who would say that they make a character faster than Sonic or stronger than Shadow. People hate that. And it's like with Billy, he is just totally helpless overall. Morty is just a semi-smart robotic person who's only Egad's assistant as opposed to Egad's partner. Armados is just working for Ridley. Like the Elemental Knights, hell, the Elemental Knights I consider probably one of my my strongest fan characters, but they were still able to get beat up by the other heroes because they have their weaknesses. And then there's Urpain. I copyrighted Urpain, just so you people know, and I'm dead serious about that. I copyrighted Urpain. So if anyone else goes out using him without my permission, you're all screwed. Oh yeah, this. A quirky little sexual joke I made in this. But then again, it's logic. Like, if a queen's or a princess's castle is raided by a bunch of male monsters, one of them's gonna want to be perverted. You never. That's just something that you know is gonna happen. And then here we have Falco being his usual self and rushing right into something that's just gonna get him into trouble. Oh, here. My computer... I think my computer hated me after this. All these sprites on one page. My computer lagged so badly, and I swear to God, I thought I was throwing up. Oh, Luigi. Oh, Luigi, run! And here's a pretty important scene, actually. This is the scene that pretty much has it so the villains accidentally tell the heroes about the gospel seed. This is what makes the heroes aware about the gospel seed's existence. And this does end up that one little bit of knowledge right there. Just Bowser being cocky. That one line pretty much screwed over the entire villain's plans. Because now that the heroes know about this item, they're more cautious about it. And that does end up like screwing everything up for the villains. I believe this is the beginning of part 5. And then yeah, Fox went to go check on Peach and all them, but they weren't there. They went out for a walk. And this is what incorporates Link into it. Like at first I had no idea how I was going to bring in Link. Like I thought at first maybe like during the walk that Zelda and Peach and all them were all on, they'd go stop by Link's house. But then how would that incorporate Link into it? And then I thought, okay, well, then again, I started thinking with a little bit of logic. Logic in a video game. But I thought once Fox found out there was something wrong, the first thing he'd want to do is go find out where the princess is. And when he finds out that the princess was in Hyrule, that's his first stop. And while there, he meets up with Link to see if they were there with Link. And then I don't even know why I'm re-explaining this. It's all right there. I got so caught up with it. And then yeah, that's what brings in Link. A silent protagonist, if I might add. There was actually a few people who asked me why Link didn't talk. It's like I never played a Zelda game, and I knew that answer. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I just kind of hoped that my viewers would be a little, a little more, actually be willing to do a little more research on that. Because a lot of what you see in these episodes are strictly based from the actual games themselves. Like there's a lot of references from the games to, excuse me. A small little bash on the fact that the Mushroom Kingdom's transportation are, the pipes. I don't know why wait, what am I talking about? Yes, I do. I made Green Stash green because that was kind of a reference to Mario and Luigi Mario and Luigi games in general. Every time Mario and Luigi's names are mentioned, they're highlighted with their corresponding color. That's not the first time, and that's not going to be the last time you see Link shove a bomb into someone's mouth. You should know what I'm talking about, viewers. And one swipe totally erased the chair and the rope from existence. That's how cool Link is. Think that Master Sword is just the Bane in Evil's vein? No, it's also the Bane in Furniture's vein. I gotta shut up. No, I can't shut up. This is a commentary. I'm supposed to be talking. Oh, here we go. Here's a little, a small little joke to, like, a lot of the more kiddiest games, like Mario and Pokemon and all them, where you can easily bust down a door, but, you know, it's apparently we have to do things the hard way and find the key.
Oh.
Just a small little bash on that feature that most video games seem to have. I am not kidding, how you say. In an unbarbaric manner, yeah, he's talking to some of the greatest fighters in the world, but beyond barbaric. Another example of just irony. It would be funny if, like, the Hammer Bro actually went the other way as opposed to walked that way. Excuse me. Was there anything that I had in changes with this scene? Let me think for a second. No, I think the scene was exactly how I planned it out to be. There might have been something that I changed, but I can't really remember if I did. He yells no, when clearly he yelled what? Like I said before, I'm a little bit tone deaf. Sorry. Getting over the flu. Bad luck. I really wish that I learned to make the screen shake earlier than I had it do here. Like, when did I start having the screen shake? I don't think it. No, it wasn't in this episode. It might have been the next episode when I started having the camera shake every time like a big explosion or something heavy happened. Oh, I was right. This. I originally had no idea how I was going to get the minions out of the castle. Then I remembered that I had Armados taken down with a mine that Morty creates, and I figured, okay, maybe perhaps it'd be good to have Morty supply Fox with all these different little mines that he can use to his advantage, which he does. Also, funny little tidbit. That sound effect that was made when Fox pressed the button. That was actually a breast twitching sound effect from an anime. I don't know which anime, but I got it from this website made by a YouTube user Q2. Q2's pretty good. Go check him out. I'm subscribed to him if you don't know where to go. Oh, I did have the screen shake. What do you know? course, during all the incidents, Bowser dropped his key. Oh, I guess it is start making the screen shake in this episode. Yep, I did. Okay, never mind. It was this episode. And then, yeah, more irony, the door ended up being broken down anyway. Right here, everyone who I've talked to who's played a Star Fox game has pretty much confirmed to me that Wolf is overall a better fighter than Fox. So of course Wolf is going to be the one to beat him up. And then kind of a cliche way to throw him out. This is what brings Slippy and Crystal back into the story. Totally hovering in their planes, the R-Wings, which aren't supposed to hover like that. I think anyway. Crystal's walking sprite too, I really do need to try to make a custom sprite of that because none exists, and I'm too lazy to make one. I really do need to make one though, because she's starting to show up more often in the episodes, and I really should get on that. This is what brings back the characters who I'm pretty sure everyone forgot about during everything else. Like, oh, forgot about them. They were important. Like, house party without us. What's up with this? Sorry, I got nothing to say. It's exactly what it looks like. Oh! Pretty much, yeah, just bringing everyone up to date on the situation that's going on at the moment. Oh, and Toadbert. Toadbert was a character, obviously, who was important to where Billy came from in the beginning, and I totally forgot about him in this episode. So I threw him into the scene and played it off as a joke. That he was there the entire time. He just never showed it. He was just never shown in a scene. Breaking the fourth wall, and a small mistake that ended up working out in the end. As well as we can already see, I forgot to mention this earlier, but yeah, the heroes all already acquainted with each other. They all know who each other are. I guess you can blame the Smash. I guess it's mostly because of the Smash games, which is why they all know each other so well. Because with the Smash games, those games incorporated that each of the heroes are invited to a distant planet, all for tournaments, fighting tournaments, and the Master Hand invites them there. That's how they all know each other. I could have easily incorporated that none of them knew each other, but then I would have had to totally change the plot. And little Morty Boomer nerding out because, oh my god, the princesses! And here we have Egad. You cannot have a sprite series with including Mario without Professor Egad. It's just unheard of. I haven't seen a single sprite series on the internet that has not included Egad yet. It's just like the law of spiders. Gonna make a Mario series? You have to include E again. And then, yeah, once again, Bowser's cockiness is what leads to his ultimate downfall. But then again, that's nothing new. I will admit, the story of this series, while I'm sure a lot of concepts that are used are something new. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen them before, if they are or not. But the overall plot itself is something that has been used before. People team up to take down evil. That's something that has been used before. This series, think of this series right now as a practice series for me. Because I'm like using character. I probably at some point will make a series based on my own characters that I make up, but I'm not putting it on the internet. Immediately, if anything, because I don't want people going out and stealing it. See, here's my excuse to making series that include like video game characters. Good practice that no one can steal from you. As long as you don't make any money off of it, which can easily get you sued, you're fine. Oh, you're totally oblivious to the fact that villains are there. And here we have the credits. So, yeah, that's pretty much episode 2. A lot of rambling, and then parts where I don't know what to say. And once again, I misspelled Princess Peach. To be honest, I didn't notice that misspelling until after episode 4. That was when I noticed that misspelling. I know, horrible. Excuse me. Yeah, what you see, what you get. I will say one more thing before I cut this video. You'll see this a little later on. The poses that I have for Fox and Falco in these credits, like with Fox and Falco, you see Fox like run up, jump up into the air, land, and then walk off. With Falco, you see him speeding left and right across the screen, which is kind of funny because in Super Smash Brothers, Fox has been more so known for speed, while Falco's been more so known for airborne stuff. So that was a kind of a fault on my part for accidentally switching them. But I guess it's not too big a deal. It'll show up in a little bit. There were a lot of characters in this episode. It says ripped by... I know I said earlier that Armados was totally custom edited by me. I forgot to mention... Oh, here, yeah, right here. R-Made. Derp. The only thing that was ripped by Rugulot with Armados was the head. That was the only thing that I didn't custom make out of Armados was his head. I wanted him to have the same exact kind of helmet as other Spacefarers. That's the only reason why. Well, that's about it. Yeah, okay, this is the last one. Okay, this is about it. This is Brawl Fan 1. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.